What's up, Docs Daily? Welcome into another episode, Friday, January 23rd. We are live, full effect here. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Drop in the comment section which questions you have about today's slate. A little bit of college basketball, a little NBA, a little NHL, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got a little bit of everything here today. So you got questions, like I said, ask them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to go over some key games here that we like today as well. Don't forget about the free $60 account. There's a link in the description of the video. You can get that free $60 account. Click the link. Take you right over to the website, docsports.com/free60. Use that on any handicapper you want, anybody's plays, whether it's a day pass, week pass, season pass. You do that. You do you, Pikachu, as we say around here. Don't forget about YouTube Premium. Link is in the description of the video as well. You can join, become a premium member on YouTube for as little as $4.99. So check the link out. Craig Trapp, Robert Faringo joins us today. What's happening, gentlemen?
Yeah, what a big week we have. Weekend we have. For people that don't know, people are like, "Hey, what are all these games doing early today?" It's because of the weather. So there's like some people playing back-to-back games are only like a day between in college hoops because they're trying to avoid the white death that's coming throughout the Midwest. Then it's going to go to the East. So be careful. Like if you're like, you're not knowing what's going on, maybe today you just sit out if you're not paying attention to who's playing where and why. FYI.
That's fair. Yeah. Crazy. One of our own cappers, Jason Sharp. Talked to him. He's moving, preparing for the storm over down that way. So I hope.
Why did I think he was in California?
No, he's down Texas now.
Oh, well,
now he goes between Michigan.
They're going to get like 2 inches of snow or ice. They're like,
he's
14 to 18 inches.
He's a Michigan State fan like me. He's Pistons fan. Whatever. Yeah, he's down Texas way somewhere down there.
Are you rooting for Ohio State tonight, or do you want like Michigan to stay with just that one loss till you play them?
Yeah, no, Michigan minus the points for me today. I'm just throwing it out there. I bet it last night. I got it at a flat 15, so I felt that made me felt a little better because I could push in some way. Maybe 1% chance, but I'm on Michigan. At the end of the day, everybody hates Ohio State. You know how much I hate Ohio State. I like Ohio State plus the points though today. You throw all the just. I don't give a shit how many they have a 1 in the front column or the back column. I don't care. This is a rivalry game, and you're giving me more than double digits. It is like the oldest handicapping angle, like known to man. If like more than one touchdown in a rivalry game in football, more than double digits in a rivalry game, dude. Ohio State's not terrible either, Robert. You tell me this. Ohio State's a borderline, I think, NCAA tournament team. Like they're gonna. There's a bunch of teams in the Big Ten. They're all fighting for like that last 3 or 4 spots in the Big Ten. I don't know who's going to get them because it's like there's so many teams that have options there, and there's so many chances to get quality wins. What do you think? Like Ohio State, I think they're right in the middle of the Big Ten.
I'm not saying that Michigan can't beat them by 30. They can. They have shown this year that they have that extra gear. Yeah, you beat Gonzaga by 40. You beat Auburn by 30. You beat Villanova, pretty good Villanova team out of nowhere, by 30. They can do it. However, they haven't been doing it in conference play. Like I won with them with Indiana I won with Indiana with the points the other day. Very similar spread. Now they were up 21, 22 points in that game. But 15.5 is a lot of points, man. To your point, it's a rivalry game. Ohio State has not lost a game yet this year by more than 8 points. They lost to Illinois by 8. They played Nebraska. They only lost to Nebraska by 3. So they've kind of shown that they can play with those top tier teams in the Big Ten. Also, Michigan, after this game, which it's a rivalry game, they're not looking past Ohio State. It's a Friday night game. I get it. But they have Nebraska and Michigan State on deck. So they have bigger games on the horizon. So, are they going to come out and win this one by 25, 30 points? Are they that motivated to? I don't know. But
what do you think about rivalries now, though? Because it used to be you got built in because you came in as a freshman, you learned it from the upperclassmen. Those upperclassmen are like hired guns. They're not like assassins. I mean, they are assassins. They're not like, like built into this hatred of your rival, especially Ohio State, Michigan. It's not like, like Xavier, Cincinnati, they play each other in the summers, like literally open gyms all summer. And so it's like, because, you're trying to find good competition with them to travel. They're not playing against each other in the summers. This is a pretty far away Michigan, Ohio State battle. What do you think about rivalries now with the NIL and transfer portal?
Oh, it's there. It's there. It's always going to be there. No, it's not going to be what it was in the 80s and 90s because, to your point, these guys play on AAU teams together. They transfer a lot. So some of these guys may have even played on teams together. Like, there's so much movement with all of this stuff that, no, there's not the genuine hatred. But it's just like with college football. It's just like college basketball. It's just like all sports. It's more about the fans. The rivalry aspect is there with the fans, the fan bases. And when it means that much, like, you can feel that energy in the gym, in the arena, in the stadium. Like, those games feel different. And just intuitively, your body kind of understands that. So you're going to go a little harder. It means a little bit more. Maybe you don't hate that guy. Maybe you're not going to clothesline that guy on a breakaway layup, okay, because he's your hated rival. But, like, it's amped up in these games. It always has been. It always will be.
Yeah, I really feel like, to both of your points, is why Michigan goes that a little further today. Yeah. Why they try harder today. Maybe not individually, they got, beefs, whatever. But once I think they get in that gym, that Chrysler Thunder is going to be rolling and just rumbling.
Are they playing Ohio State twice this year? Like, I know with the expanded conferences, it's becoming.
So they play twice? Is that what
yes, it used to be every year they played twice.
Yeah, the return game is in a few weeks. And also, hey, for all of you watching right now, if you can jump in your book and in-game bet Louisiana Monroe, Appalachian State, get Louisiana Monroe. I'm so pissed. I forgot that game got moved. I bet Louisiana Monroe yesterday. They lost by 55. Bad play by me. I wanted to come back on them today, and I forgot to add that to my card. It's at halftime right now against Appalachian State, who also won big yesterday. Should be able to get it at like 15.5, somewhere around there. Take the points.
Yeah, there you go. I wish it was easier for us to give in-game bets to our followers.
Oh, Jesus,
because, there's lots of value there. Unfortunately, like, it's such a timely thing. It's like, if you don't get it right away, then you lose that, value. If it moves 3 points, there's no value anymore. So I don't know how we do it. But if we could, maybe the NCAA tournament, we can maybe do like a live show, kind of like Lenny and I do at halftime. Because that's,
you could dedicate an hour. Yeah, if you could dedicate an hour during like a day
marathon. How about a marathon live stream? Docs Daily all day for the Thursday, the first Thursday of the NCAA tournament.
I got plans. You boys are on your own. I'll be at the casino. I am watching it at the Durango with a couple handful of boys, and it's a degenerate boys' day with dice games.
Maybe.
And on the table, maybe in the bathroom. You don't know what's going on at the
you
booth.
can pop in on the phone. You can pop in on the phone.
I've done that. Craig knows. I've done that. Craig. Live from the wait in line to live bet.
He did it at halftime of the last Lions Monday Night Football game.
My anniversary. I took my wife out to dinner. We went to a restaurant.
The bar was
next to the sports book.
The bar was the Lions bar, and they kept giving him shots every time he did drink, and that was the game.
That was bad. We were out on the patio. Yeah, but he couldn't.
They're literally. It was great. It was a once in a lifetime thing. I will say this today. Be careful.
I hit every one of those bets I gave out at halftime.
The good thing about the NBA,
I hit every one of them. For the record, you can rewatch that. It's on our live. You can go back. I hit every one of them. There was like 3 degenerate bets.
Let's do a little NBA and then talk to NFL, and then we'll finish it up. Lenny, do we have games lined up for Robert and I for tomorrow?
I do not.
Or you can line that up as we talk.
Probably get that. Yeah. No. Give me a few minutes.
Let's talk NBA. Last night,
that's my fault. I completely forgot about that.
I had Houston last night, and that was my only loss. Of course, it was the best play, and that's the worst, is when you're up 8. I've said for a long time, Houston's got to find some shooting because they have to play Shepard, and he can't guard anybody. But when they played him last night in the fourth quarter, they went from down 4 to up 8 in like a 4-minute section. they don't have anybody else. Him and Jabari Smith is really the only consistent. I mean, obviously Kevin Durant, but they don't have a lot of role players that are shooters. The Thompson guy, I love him. He's playing his brother tonight, by the way. I kind of think the Pistons are resting. Your Pistons are resting. Last night watching that game, goes to overtime. They're like, yeah, go to overtime, wear them out even more. Now we're going to see the number 1 seed in the East. I think this is a flex their muscle type game. And I think Houston is it's a really tough back-to-back spot game because they really should have probably won that game last night. They let that one get away. Had to go to overtime. You still lose. Yeah, I kind of like that.
I like my Pistons tonight. I do. I don't like Sir Thompson. I don't like him. I actually I don't want to say I like his brother more, but I just want to smack the shit out of that man. I just say that. I don't care if he plays good basketball or not.
Of the two, he's not as good as his brother. The one.
Well, I don't follow that enough to know, and everybody knows that follows me in the NBA. It's
clearly a better player. Now they're very similar. They both can't shoot outside the freaking lane. It's like, dude, if they both develop jump shots, I mean, offensive, rebounding, defense, they do all the other things that you want them to do. They can't shoot, or they're not confident enough to shoot outside the lane. So they'll only get better because they're super young. But that's a good matchup tonight. I also think
his temperament. I like that. I like the grittiness, and all that, and the toughness.
Dude, he's
the
built
bad
to be a
boy
Piston.
stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like
he's
Isaiah
like
Stewart, though. Isaiah Stewart's a little off. He's a little off. Okay, like he's just maybe Isaiah Stewart.
What's that guy you had before on the Chauncey Billups, the Afro Ben
Wallace?
Ben Wallace. He's like a guard
pro,
Ben
man.
Wallace.
Fear the pro.
He's like a guard Ben Wallace, like a wing Ben Wallace, where it's like, dude, he just freaking he does all the things. It's just like, please don't have him shoot the ball because it's just not pretty. It's not confident, but they do, both of them do everything else. I also think tonight that Denver Nuggets game is a pretty interesting game because I don't think the Bucks should be favored 7 points against many teams. They're just outside of the Greek freak. Giannis is playing great again. They just don't have a whole lot else.
All right, sorry, Lenny, check your email. I say the games and the numbers. I agree with you. I don't understand that number really at all. They played the 11th, January 11th. Now it was in Denver, but no Joker and no Jamal Murray in that game, and Denver beat them. So what's the big change here? Like, they have Giannis and nobody else. Like, Rollins is not good. AJ Green is like a fringe pro at best. Their bench is terrible. Like, this is a bad Bucks team. They're not good. So, I don't understand that number at all either.
I mean, it's because Joker's out and it's like everybody on Denver's questionable every game. Like, it's like, and when they set one, like they did, I think they beat Boston and Philly, and they rested the entire starting lineups. They're like, okay, well, if two are out, we might as well rest them all. And they won both of them.
But that's the point. That's the point. Like, they have a bench. They have depth. They have a better program. Like, they are way ahead of where Milwaukee is right now. Did you say you liked Houston to bounce back tonight, or do you like Detroit there?
I like Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, Houston is what? They're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. They're 6-16 against the spread in their last 22. They're just not as good as everybody wants them to be. And again, like, this goes back to what you and I were talking about: Western Conference versus Eastern Conference. Like, Philadelphia is a good team, man. Like, they're one of those top 6 or 7 teams in the East, and they're just as good as anybody in that top tier in the West. Like, there's not a big disparity between the conferences. And hopefully, if Detroit can win. And Detroit's kind of shown that ability. Like, they get up for big games. They know this is a big game, and they're going to come to play. And if they can win again, it just repeatedly proves that the East is a team.
Young teams like the measuring stick type games, and this is, Kevin Durant,
this
like
Cunningham.
Cunningham grew up a Durant fan. I mean, like big guy that likes to play like guard skills. It's like, dude, this would have been a natural guy. Probably grew up loving him, and now you get to go up against him and beat him. That would be and like I said, the Thompson brothers playing each other will bring some extra heat to this game.
Oh, they're both a little off. They're off. They're just both off. They don't play smart bat. Like, everything that they just go at the ref. At least the Sir Thompson, I've watched way more basketball of him. He just like this doesn't play. He looks a little unhinged. I mean, there's Dennis. I had Dennis Rodman. We broke him. we're the ones that broke Dennis Rodman, to be fair. He didn't have no tattoos, no piercings, no nothing until Detroit strip clubs broke him.
Got a hold of him.
Yeah, what do they call that? What's the mile?
He ain't been right since.
What's the mile? The something mile?
8 Mile?
8 Mile. Yeah, he spent too much time around 8 Mile.
He got a little deeper than that.
I would love to see. I'm not going to take the time to do this in season, but I would love to see what Kevin Durant's ATS record is over like the last 5 years. Because at one point, I remember doing that because I'm in Atlanta. Trae Young has obviously been a big
post-Warriors, you mean?
Since he came. What's that?
You mean post-Warriors, basically?
Basically, yeah. Yeah, like the last 4 years in games he plays, what is his team's against the spread record? Because at one point, I did do that with Trae Young, going back to like the second half of his time in Oklahoma in like his first 3 years in Atlanta. At one point, he was like 53 and 109 against the spread or something ridiculous like that. Like his team cashed the spread at like a 30% clip. And I remember using that with local media guys to be like, look, this guy is not as good as you think he is. He's not as good as everyone thinks he is. And I think it's the same case with Kevin Durant.
Well, Durant's teams are always kind of, especially since he left the Warriors, it's always like anytime you're like the free agent type teams or the big trade, it's like it just draws the attention. And I've been saying, me and IC do the things at night, and I said, you cannot survive not having a three-point shooting now because it just shrinks the floor. You can't get to the hole. And Jabari Smith and Shepherd are really the only two guys. Eason is okay, three-point shooter, but these aren't guys that you were going to live and die with shooting threes. They need a three-point shooter. I don't know if there's not that many out there available, I don't think. But, maybe they're creative. You never know there. But they're going to have to because you can't go through the Western Conference and win. They're going to have to beat three good teams in the Western Conference.
Bully ball. Yeah, just trying to bully ball their way through the West. Like, no, it's not going to work.
And not having Adams.
I don't think they're as good as people think they are just as a team. And that's why they're 6-16 against the spread.
Not having Adams last night really hurt against Embiid because at one point, Jabari Smith was guarding him. Like, oh, come on. And like he scored 3 possessions in a row. Then they double team and then they hit a 3. And that's like, I'm sorry. You got to have, they don't have the biggest.
That's also what I'm saying about Philly is kind of a sneaky team in the East. Like now that their counterpunch is Embiid instead of just everything being Embiid, everything's got to go through there. Now they can play a whole game without him being the focal point. But when they get those matchups, when they get a situation, now he's the counterpunch. Now they have 2 different ways they can beat you. They can beat you with athleticism on the perimeter, or they can beat you with a former MVP just like wearing you down. So Philly's sneaky. Philly's sneaky. If they can stay healthy, which they won't, we all know that they won't stay healthy. Like the first week of April, either Maxey will go out for the season or Embiid will, come down with skin cancer or something like that. Like
as long as Maxey's there, Maxey's like, he deserves to be first or second team all NBA if he's healthy through the season. If he continues, the numbers he's putting up is inefficiency. He's not like he's out there shooting the ball 40 times to get 30 points. So we did say we'd talk about the NFL this weekend. We both released our plays yesterday. Like Lenny wasn't on. Lenny, is there one of these games that you like more than the other? Because to me, I like my best play is in the AFC Championship game. I really like that one. Is there one that you maybe like more than the other?
I've been on New England this whole playoff, so I kind of like that. I don't know if I like one more than the other. I'm a true degenerate. I'm going to equally degenerate out on both these games equally. But I just feel like that Rams Seahawks game. I've seen that. I've already seen that game. That New England.
Well, we saw it twice, but we had different results, Lenny. I know. The interesting
that's why part. I'm probably more interested in the New England Denver game because I think Denver's a live dog at home. So I don't know, with or without Bo Nix. I was kind of hoping DiNucci was starting. Ben DiNucci. They signed him back to the practice squad this week.
The backup.
Maybe he starts the Super Bowl.
Jarrett Stidham is not bad. Okay, like
he's not horrible.
You know what I mean?
Where's he compared to Bo Nix? That's the
right. That's what I'm saying. Like the movement on the line is all just based on public perception of this team lost its starting quarterback. Correct. Oh my God. Like if Bo Nix plays, they're probably 2.5 point favorites as well. I don't think that they would get the full 3 points at home because New England's been playing better than them, and Denver should have lost last week, and Denver's kind of been flaky. Like they're a soft number 1 seed to begin with, right? So you're trying to convince me that Bo Nix is worth 7 points on the line. Now I can tell you right now, if Bo Nix was playing and Denver was a 2.5 point favorite or 2 point favorite, I'd have been all over New England. I absolutely would have taken New England with this game. But now above that key number, 2 tough defenses. Do we see a lower scoring game? I talk about this a lot. Team X loses star player in the short term. Everybody rallies, right? Like it's not inconceivable that Denver rallies around Stidham, plays well, and wins this game, and then they get absolutely trucked in the Super Bowl. Right? Like that's a realistic outcome here. And if that's a realistic outcome, I don't understand the people that are just pouring money into New England, on spec. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I'm jumping on Denver. Lenny said it, right? And this is the 2 different approaches here at Dots. Is like he's going to degen out on both of these games equally. I can respect the hell out of that.
I'm probably just going to prop
me. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I will not bet $1 on either one of these games other than props. I don't like them because for me, just because of the conference championship games doesn't mean you have to bet them. If these were 2 games on the week 13 card with these situations and these numbers, would you bet them? Well, if you wouldn't bet them back in October, like you don't have to bet them now just because you're bored type of thing.
I think the first game is, like I said, I think the first game is easy. I don't say easy, but it's easy for me to get my handicapping brain around the first game. The second game is literally because we've seen it twice, and it's like your eyes and the stats fool you when you look at these games. If you rewatch the games, it's like it's
the wrong team won both games.
Both games. And so it's like, how do you come up with a
I'm probably going to find a teaser. That'll be the way I degen on this. I'm going to take as many points as I can on the sides, get them over a touchdown.
That's what I did.
Both these games, both these games probably end up within a touchdown. I think they're both going to be good games.
Who's the better team?
That's what I blow Denver out.
I'm going to say the same thing. Like you and I talked about this last week where we were like, these should all be 4 close games. I was like, no, that's usually not the way it works. Like 2 blowouts, 2 close games. And that's what ended up happening. I think in the championship weekend, I think it's going to be the same thing. One of them will be a good game. One of them will be double digits. Will be kind of like that Patriots game where like, oh, maybe they could come back, but you never really feel like that team is going to come back. Now, I wish I could sit here and tell you how it's going to go, like which team's going to blow out and which team's going to be the close game or whatever. I don't expect both of these games to come down to last second plays. And the last thing I'll say is that part of the reason why I don't like this weekend, these specific matchups, is I generally don't like betting on teams that should not have won the week before. Yeah. Denver should not have won last week. That was some fluke ass stuff right there. The Rams should not have won. They were not the better team last week. They played a perfect game, literally. No turnovers, no penalties, no dropped passes, okay? The no penalties thing, by the way, as a Bears fan, don't even get me started on that joke. But, like, they played a perfect game, and they still barely won. They needed, like, a litany of Chicago mistakes to win that game. So I have no faith in either Denver or the Rams this week, but I'm also not in a rush to bet against either one of them, so.
Hey, there's 2. We've seen 2 instances in our lifetime, in the 3 of us' lifetime, that teams with injuries that were good teams went on to win Super Bowls. Obviously, recently the Eagles and
Carson Wentz
went. So who was the guy that started?
Nick Foles.
Yeah, and that was like magical. Obviously, can they do that? I don't know. I think I know. The other time was Jeff Hostetler. It was a little later in the season, but I mean, they went through the playoffs and he threw the ball like 40 times in like 3 games or something. So they barely threw the ball and won with defense and running the ball. I could see Denver kind of try to do that where it's like, hey, listen, we're not going to throw the ball a ton. We'll do enough to like keep them honest and shorten the game. And like, Sean Payton is, as much as I've loved him at the beginning, the Saints when he rebuilt and the Katrina stuff, and that was a great story. They won the championship. And then it was like, yeah, there's other times I've kind of like it kind of rubbed me the wrong way recently, but you cannot argue the guy's a winner. He's won with like you.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day that said that their favorite prop was RJ Harvey under 41.5 rushing yards, right? And it led to an interesting conversation. He's talking about what you just said. I see that too. Like they'll try and pound the ball on the ground. You think RJ Harvey should feature strongly and show well in this game, but he didn't run well last week against Buffalo. Okay, he was not good last week, and that's I
was on that prop.
That's a bad Buffalo rushing defense. Game, yeah. New England's front line is dominating.
Way better, yeah.
Okay, way better. So I'm kind of thinking, and you mentioning that makes me think, and just knowing Sean Payton, I don't think so, Craig. I don't think they're just going to try and run the ball, shorten the game, win it with defense and turnovers type of that. I think he's going to let Stidham air it out a little bit. Like this Broncos offense has been really weird. It's been either really, really bad, scoring like 11 points or 14 points against the Jets, or it's been kind of explosive. They've had games where they've put up 35 plus and they're throwing the ball down the field and Sutton's making plays. And
what was the game they scored?
Bryant's making plays and stuff like that. I think it's going to be more like that. I think he's going to come out and throw the ball around.
What was the game they scored like 21 or 28, came back and won in the fourth quarter?
Was that Giants?
Was it the Giants game? I think it might have been. They had a couple games. They've had some ridiculous comebacks this year, by the way. Right. So it's like I always said like you got to look at the games closer because just the final score doesn't tell the story always. It's like, okay, you're not getting those comebacks most years. You get 4 in 1 year, all of a sudden you're the number 1 seed. If you only got 2 of them, they'd have been the number 3 seed, and New England would have got the number 1 seed. New England didn't have a ton of those comebacks, actually. They kind of just did their business throughout the game. So I'm not saying comebacks are fluky, but everything's got to go right when you're down.
Yes, it's a great point. They have won a lot of games that they shouldn't have. They have had an inordinate number of comebacks, just like we saw with Kansas City last year. It came back to bite them when they got to the Super Bowl and they got trucked. And that's what I see with either one of these AFC teams. Denver shouldn't still be playing. They should have lost last week to Buffalo. Buffalo was a better team. They just threw up all over themselves. And Denver has had all these wild comebacks all season long. New England is a really, really good team. I've also pointed this out before on the show. They've also played the easiest schedule in NFL, like one of the 5 easiest schedules since the merger. Like I can't get past that. You're a very good team. So that's why I don't care about this weekend. I'm not going to bet money on it. I might not even watch these games. Don't care. I'm just going to bet on the NFC in the Super Bowl because whoever survives this Rams-Seahawks game, I think is going to railroad whoever comes out of the AFC.
Lenny, you have that number? What's the NFC if it's up still? I know it was up last week, and I'm sure it's up now with the NFC versus AFC right now. Obviously, we don't know. I mean, you can play the advanced matchups, but you'll probably get better value just betting NFC versus AFC, not knowing than the individual matchups. So.
Oh, Louisiana Monroe down 19 now. Damn it.
Okay, Lenny, why don't we run through these college basketball games? These are
real quick. I'd like to get your opinion on something I read this morning.
Uh-oh.
Phillip Rivers interviewing for the Buffalo Bills head coach job.
Interesting.
I love it.
I kind of dig it. I do.
Love it.
I don't know.
I love it. Like I have a lot of Bills fans. I'm from upstate New York. I live down here in Georgia, surrounded by, so I'm like very Bills centric with my peoples, right? And Brian Dable, they're like, Brian Dable would be good, blah, 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 blah. A couple other names. I'm like, explain to me how Brian Dable isn't more of the same. Like you fire Sean McDermott and then you want this sea change thing. Like we've plateaued here, blah, blah, blah. Brian Dable is just more of the same. Brian Dable was a joke with the Giants. Like, get out of here with this, he won a playoff game with Daniel Jones. That was like one fluke season. The other 3 years he were there, the Giants were a joke. Brian Dable is a pud, okay? The whole thing with, he made Josh Allen. No, he didn't. Josh Allen got way better once Brian Dable left and Joe Brady came in here. So, like, if I fire Sean McDermott, which I support the move, okay, I think you got to go not wild the other way, but go the other way. Do something different. Like, if you want to shake it up, if you're like, we needed to fire Sean McDermott because we need to shake things up, then shake it up. Bring in a Phillip Rivers. I don't love Mike McDaniel as a fit, but it is a it is a moonshot type of thing, right? Like I think you got to go off, get Clint Kubiak, who I've been screaming about. Like, you got to go different. Don't bring in somebody from the McDermott tree. Don't bring in somebody because they're familiar or because they know Josh Allen. Like, that's garbage. Don't bring in a defensive guy. You just had a defensive guy.
What if
the Rivers thing? I'm like, that's kind of outside the box genius.
What if you go back to a former champ? I know he's went to the NFL, and him or John Gruden, I think, would be freaking unbelievable.
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're super racist up in that part of the country. So, like, they won't care about that stuff.
Like, I think he would already have a job if it wasn't for the lawsuit in the NFL. He would have to basically, I think, like, they would have to settle that quickly, or like, because he's on like the no hire list, basically. Why? Because it's like John Gruden was a good coach 25 years ago. Like he wasn't good in his last stint with the Raiders. Raiders actually weren't terrible when he was there. It was just like he just, unfortunately, like that whole. First of all, you can't trash the commissioner. Once he found out, it was like that was the beginning of the end.
But this is like the people trying to throw Bill Belichick's name out there for like the Bills coaching job.
Bill Belichick's a lot.
Like it's over. It's over. It was a great run. It was a dynasty, but like the guy hasn't been a good NFL coach in 8 years or so.
And I also think Bill Belichick, if he would have went to Falcons, that was the only job I thought. Like I thought if he went to the Falcons, he almost got the Falcons job when he left the Patriots the first time, and I was like maybe, but I think he doesn't want to say I'm a terrible like Nick Saban did it. That was just like, hey, I'm terrible in the NFL. I'm going back to college. Like, I don't think Nick Saban wants to say I'm not great at college.
I'm terrible in college. I'm going back to the NFL.
Yeah.
I think he wants too much control over everything. He wants to be everybody. He wants to be the GM.
Well, I don't know if
he
like
coach.
At his age, I don't know if that matters now because, dude, he's probably only coaching 3 or 4 more years. So it's like, you don't really need to be. You're playing with the players you have at this point.
Wearing skinny pants and some flat sandals,
All right,
and his
Lenny, we got to get to these.
Telling him what the hell he's going to draft.
We got to get these college picks because I've got a date.
I was gonna say he's got a hot date. Normally, Craig is like, let's just go for an hour and a half and talk about all this stuff.
Because I know I'm gonna be landlocked. The snow here is coming in 30 hours, and I know I'm gonna be stuck here for 24 to 48 hours.
You gotta get away we're doing from wiping kids while you can.
Me and my fiance.
You gotta get out of this house.
Yeah, we're going to a winery. I'm taking her to a winery. We're gonna go out to a couple watering holes tonight. I figure everything's going to be packed.
Get all liquored up before he's stuck at home.
Everybody's going to be out. Everybody's going to be out.
What could go wrong?
All right. 10 underrated. What could go wrong? All right. Let's start this. We're going to give you 10 underrated college basketball plays that we like for this weekend for Saturday. They're each going to go over 5. We're going to go kind of rapid fire style. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section what you like in these videos, whether you're fading or following or you like an underrated college basketball play. For Saturday, January 24th. Craig Trapp, we'll start with you. Miami -2 at Syracuse.
An interesting game, because when you look on the year, Miami's way better than I thought. I knew they were going to be improved, but it's like when you think improved, I'm thinking maybe in the ACC, a couple games above 500. ACC is not world beaters, so I think they could beat up on some bad teams. I mean, they've played with everybody. It's like there's not anything that – now Syracuse is better than I thought they'd be too. I thought Syracuse would be real lucky to be 500 this year. I do think Miami goes on the road. They've lost 2 in a row now, including one to their rival that they were a 10.5-point favorite. Once again, I say you get double digits to a rival, almost always take it. But the time before that, you give them a little credit. Clemson's pretty good, especially at home. I'm going to take Miami. I think they end this losing streak. I do think Syracuse keeps it close throughout, but I think they fall a little short in the end. Take Miami minus the points.
Robert Ferringo, Central Michigan, catching 1 whole point against Colorado. What are your thoughts?
Interesting game between 2 teams that I kind of like from a betting perspective, right? Like we do this every week, and it's teams outside the top 25 that just like you should know about. Central Florida is one of them, okay? They have a nice win over Kansas at home, beat Texas A&M in the non-conference. They have played good teams close. Like they only lost to Arizona at home by 7. Like this Central Florida team is super athletic and very good. However, they've been terrible on the road. Like they lost outright at Oklahoma State. They just got ramrodded by Iowa State by 30. They're going to Colorado. You got to play at elevation. It's a tough spot for visitors, especially a team like Central Florida that doesn't really make that trip. That being said, I kind of like Central Florida here because Colorado is in a letdown spot. They've lost 4 straight. Okay. They just wound up and took a big swing at Kansas earlier this week. That was a game, packed gym, students back. Everybody's fired up to try and upset Kansas. They couldn't do it. I think it's going to be like half empty gym with Central Florida coming to town. This is a game where I think Central Florida's athleticism should be able to trump the superior shooting and execution of Tad Boyle's Colorado team.
NC State -6 at Pittsburgh. What do you say, Kirk Trapp?
I mean, if you would have said Jeff Capel would have a team this bad this year, when this is it. Like, this was like they gave him one more year, and it was like, I mean, they're not good at all. They have disappointed in every step of the way. And you have an opposite team. You have Will Wade first year, and everything seems to be, going well for them. I mean, there was even higher expectations, to be honest, than what he's done. But I think he's done a very good job. That win at Clemson, we just said how good Clemson was at Clemson. They won by 4, but at some points they were up 7 or 8. They really were up that entire game as an underdog there. I like NC State here. I don't think they let down. And I don't know. I don't know if Pittsburgh would fire in-season Jeff Capel, but things aren't going well there, and I cannot see, unless barring just wins out kind of thing, that he's going to be there next year. What do you think, Robert? Do you think Jeff Capel makes it?
How about this? Who gets fired first, Jeff Capel or Micah Shrewsbury? I think Micah Shrewsbury at Notre Dame is gone before Jeff Capel. Yes.
On the same day, they might lose in the NCAA or in the ACC tournament, get fired.
I think we're reaching the end of the Jeff Capel era, but he's done enough there where they will wait till the end of the season, let him go gracefully. Yeah, the thing with Micah Shrewsbury is that there have been problems, him attacking the refs at Cal, him insulting the Notre Dame fan base, the way he acted at the end of the Virginia Tech game. There's stuff going on right now. Jeff Capel, he hasn't been a very good coach. He doesn't have a very good team, but he's still kind of a class guy that I think will get another job, like a mid-major job, something like that. And I could still see him having a good career. That's my thoughts on that.
Let's move on. George Mason -1 at Rhode Island. Robert?
Again, this shout out to Griffin Murphy, to Admiral Akbar Murphy, if he's watching. This one looks like a trap, Griffin. Okay, George Mason is 18-1. They look like the best team in that conference. This is going to be a much smaller line. Now, my projection is that it opens at 1. This is going to be one-sided money. You're only getting George Mason money. This line will jump up to 2.5, 3. I'm going to go the other way with Rhode Island. I think that this is an indicator line. George Mason is coming off that big win over George Washington earlier this week at home. Big game. The 2 best teams in that league. I still think George Washington has the potential to win that conference tournament. I think it's a bad spot. Archie Miller, not a great Rhode Island team. They haven't shown me they can win a game like this, but just gut feeling, looking at this number, looking at the situation, kind of like the home dog. I think the public takes one on the chin here.
That's a Murray State +1 at Northern Iowa. I like that breakdown.
This has been a good Murray State team. People don't know Murray State, Mick Cronin was there at one time. They've had some really good team, the Racers. It's the middle of nowhere in Kentucky, and all they care about is basketball. I mean, that is it. And once every 3 or 4 years, they have a great team. They've got that this year. I like them here. It's a tough spot going to Northern Iowa from Kentucky. Just look at the map. Not going to be easy for him to get there, but Northern Iowa is what 5 in a row. And I know they'll be desperate, but just Murray State's playing good. I'm going to just ride the hot team here. They did lose at Drake last time out, so it's not like they're riding this long win streak. I think they bounce back here. I like Murray State.
Memphis +3 at Wichita State. How say you, Robert?
So this one is a little tricky. Memphis is not as bad as people think they are. They're only 9-9, and the anti-Penny crowd, of which I'm kind of one. The guy's great at recruiting talent. He is not a very good in-game coach. It looks like he's flaming out this year, but he's really not. Memphis has played one of the 20 most difficult schedules in the country, and they've been competitive in a lot of these games against Ole Miss, Wake Forest, Purdue, Vanderbilt. They lost in overtime. They're not getting run out of the gym. They have a solid decent little team. The problem for them is that even though they're down, and a game like this is a perfect example, this is a big game for Wichita State. They don't care that Memphis is 9-9. They don't care that they're in the middle of the conference. Like, Wichita State is going to be amped up because it's Memphis and because it's Penny Hardaway. Wichita State is a team that I think is underperformed a little bit, but they're showing some signs. They won at South Florida. They hammered Eastern Carolina. In that game, they only shot 9 for 34 from three-point range. Wichita State did. So they won by 17. They didn't even play that well. So I like the Shockers here. That home gym can get loud. That's a tough place to play. I think that they're going to be able to beat that short number.
Georgetown getting 7 at Providence, Craig Trapp.
Man, Ed Cooley.
The return game, the revenge game, right?
It's, when the guy goes into the press conference and is like basically saying, it could be worse that we're 1-7 or however he like phrased that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that is not the image that Georgetown basketball, of the 80s and 90s, like you were the bully, like you were beating up on everybody. And now you're happy, like you're content. Hey, there could be worse things. It's like, dude, give everybody a trophy type thing. That's not what I want to hear of my head coach when things are struggling. Like, I know the problem is the Providence is kind of the same team. They're both 9-10. It's not like Providence is a super reliable team. They've won one game in their last 5 games, and now they should be a 5.5 favorite. I think you take the under in this game. Last time out, Providence scored 104 and lost. The game before that, they scored 88 and lost. I'm sorry, 93 and won. I think this is a lower scoring game. Georgetown, they can't score easily. I'm going to take a little flyer here on the under in this matchup. I do think, like, the loser of this game and Marquette in the Big East should all just be like, we just give up rest of the games this year because it's been a bad year for those guys.
That's fair. Let's go to the MAC with Bowling Green catch -2 at Toledo. It's no Miami, Ohio matchup, but so what says you, Robert?
Yeah, Craig, Ed Cooley is like, it could be worse because they keep covering spreads. Georgetown's actually been a pretty good underdog.
Maybe just betting the games.
But we're losing,
Yeah,
but we're
he's
beating the number, man. Like, the boosters got to be thrilled with that. Bowling Green is clearly the superior team here. Toledo is right there with Kent State, like one of the best home court advantages in the MAC. Okay, so always dangerous here as a home underdog. This is another one of those situations also where it's like, this is going to be one-sided action. The public is going to be all over Bowling Green in this one. And unlike the first one where I'm like, I smell out the trap, I'm actually going to take Rhode Island. This one, I'm going to get pinned with the public. Sometimes it's hip to be square. I'm going to play Bowling Green just because I haven't seen – this Toledo team is not – this is probably the worst Toledo team that we've seen in like 7 or 8 years. They're just not very good. Right. So I haven't seen enough from them to make me think that they can pull off the upset here. So we'll take Bowling Green against a short number, but it's going to be a close game. This is not one where either team is going to run away.
Fair enough. Last one for you, Craig Trapp. Richmond +7 at George Washington.
Oh, George Washington is pretty freaking good. I think there's St. Louis, Dayton, George Washington, and George Mason. Those 4, I hope we see 3 of them get in the NCAA tournament. I don't know. With the ACC and the Big East kind of having some teams that I didn't expect play a little better that might get bids, I'm worried that the conferences like the A10, like the Mountain West, might be teams that get a little fewer than probably what they deserve. I think this is a pretty tight game. It's a little bit of a letdown spot, I think, for George Washington, to be very honest. They played pretty good at George Mason, fell short, didn't cover it anyway. They lost at Davis in the game before that. They lost at Dayton. So they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They got to kind of be looking in the mirror. I think it's another really, really tight game. I could see it's like a 1 or 2 point game. So give me the points here with Richmond. This A10, if you guys aren't watching A10 basketball, it's fun to watch. They're not they just don't have NBA pros. That's the difference. They're not out there playing ridiculously above the rim. Some do, but man, they play good basketball. Especially if you like good basketball, watching Dayton and George Mason and St. Louis right now is pretty fun basketball to watch.
St. Louis, I like that team. Western Kentucky +7 at Sam Houston State. Robert, last one, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, again, this is another one where I think the public is going to look at Western Kentucky catching points and be like, oh, Western Kentucky, I kind of know them. They've made the NCAA tournament. Like, they recognize the name more than they will Sam Houston State. But this Western Kentucky program is kind of lost at sea right now. Like, I don't know that Hank Plona's not the guy to get them to the next level. We talk about like a Jeff Capel, like he's going to leave Pitt. I think like Western Kentucky would be a great landing spot for a guy like that, because Plona he's not getting it done. This isn't a very good Western Kentucky team. And Sam Houston, they'll choke the life out of some people. They're tough at home. They haven't blown anyone out in a while, even though they've won 3 straight games. Like, they haven't laid the wood at home in a bit. They lost to Liberty in their last big home game. So something tells me here that they're going to have a good day. Tempted to take the points. I know that's how the public is going to look at this one. I think Sam Houston State wins by a blowout.
There you have it. 10 underrated college basketball bets or picks or leans, however you want to take it, that you should be looking for on Saturday, January 24th. Don't forget, use that free
hold on, before we go.
Account.
Before we go, I want the over-under on the number of games Robert has. Tomorrow's schedule is awesome. 12. 12. I say 12.
I'll take over that. I'll take over. That's a lot.
Yeah, it will definitely be over that. It will be less than 20. I'm trying to tighten things up a little bit, and it's going to surprise you. I already have my 7-unit play circled, and I have another play I really like. They're both games that you wouldn't think of. A lot of those big high-profile games, I'm not going to play.
That's fair.
So,
well, I have 3
falls
tomorrow.
right into this, underrated college basketball plays.
3 that I like, and 2 of them are like, I won't say ranked games, but like, bigger conference games, like ones that, will be on people's.
Use that. If you want picks in those high profile games, I have a bunch of free play videos that will be dropping on Doc's YouTube channel today. All the high profile games, basically. So if you're looking for picks in like that Houston, Texas Tech game, that's the next video I'm doing. Like, just go over to Doc's. I know most of you are already subscribers. If you aren't, like and subscribe. But yeah, if you want picks from me, you'll get them. Illinois, Purdue, Tennessee, Alabama, Miami, Syracuse, Auburn, Florida. Those are games that I'm going to have free plays in. So go check those videos out.
There you go. Free $60 account, links in the description of the video. Good luck unless you're against us. Take care.